Welcome to Earrings Off. I'm Lou.
And I'm Teresa. Let's get started.
Teresa, there is so much going on right now. We as African Americans, we're sort of waging battle on so many different fronts. COVID-19 and, it's continuing to ravage, this whole nation, all the states. Everybody's got increases in the number of cases, and it's particularly impacting our communities.
Right.
Not to mention the continued attacks upon us, constantly denying our ability to live freely.
Right.
Always faced with oppression every day. This is nothing new. It continues to just be with us every day, no matter which way we turn. It's constantly on the news, constantly in our conversations. However, in an attempt to not let it consume us, today at Earrings Off, we wanted to recognize a little referenced holiday. July 1st is recognized as International Joke Day. I never heard about that. Did you?
No, I hadn't. And when you brought it to my attention, I was like, oh, wow, yeah, let's do something.
I know, right? I know.
When you did tell me about it, I was like, yeah, we really should do something, because right now, that's what we need. We need to stop taking ourselves, so serious. We need to stand back and sit back and just take just relax and let humor help us.
Sure.
Laughter is medicine.
Yeah, it really is.
It's truly medicine. It actually has benefits, Lou, health benefits.
I'm sure you will tell us about those, Teresa.
It can boost our immune system. It releases endorphins, which can help in decreasing pain. It improves our mood. It can alleviate stress. It makes our blood vessels work better, which can help us avoid heart attacks.
Wow, now that one I didn't know. I did not know. And I tell you, that's all of that certainly needed. Because as I said earlier, life has always been stressful for us. We're hearing now about, all the latest findings about how racism impacts our mental health. Well, I didn't need a study to tell me that. We live it. And certainly we know the impact on us mentally and emotionally dealing with the challenges every day. And certainly while the availability of social media has been good, but because of the very thing that's been good and that has allowed us to capture these atrocities against us and hopefully stop them, but because of that, we can't even hide from it. You can't get a break from it. I don't care what you do, it's everywhere. And when I think about that, I remember how as when we were children, we just laughed all day. We just had fun. And it was just, and as we became adults, we lost some of that appreciation for humor because our lives are so, just cause us to be so stressed that we lose that ability to see humor in our everyday life. But of course here, we want to take today because of it's International Joke Day on July 1st. We want to encourage everybody to take a needed break. And if we're being honest, Teresa, you and I need it.
I need it.
Listeners need it. And trust me, when we finish with this segment, the mess we call life, it'll still be there. And we can return right back to it. But right now, we want to take a little bit of a break from it.
Yeah. And we certainly aren't comedians, like you said.
Long shot.
We love to laugh. And I do get a chance to laugh a lot. I have a really silly teenager who provides me many things to laugh about. But we're going to share a few jokes with our listeners today. And this segment actually means a bit more to me because it it reminds me of my father and the time
I thought about that. Okay. So
Karen,
you're going to do him proud today, right?
no, I don't know about
We are going to do him proud.
I really tried hard to remember some of them, but it's hard when you're telling the jokes, the timing and the punchline.
Right. Well,
right.
I thought about, I should have called my brother Johnny, because he has all of these jokes that he tells all the time, and they're funny. They're funny jokes, but they're funny. And I thought I should have called him to get him to weigh in on it. But still, we forge ahead. We are earrings off, and so we're gonna get it done.
We're gonna get it done.
Yeah.
So we hope these jokes will give you a chuckle and put a smile on your face, if only for a minute. And because I'm chicken, I want you to go first.
Well, I will plunge right in. Okay. Just say no to drugs. On the other hand, if I'm talking to drugs, I probably already said yes.
That was funny. Corny, but funny.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the kind of stuff I got. I'm not a comedian.
Okay, this is the one that I haven't forgotten, and hopefully I'll do it justice for my dad. It's like a bit of a short story. A piece of string walks into a bar and walks right up to the counter to order a drink. The bartender looks at him and says, "We don't serve strings. You have to leave." Feeling rejected, the string leaves. And while out in the parking lot, he's kicking around dirt and just thinking to himself, "Man, that was rude." And then he gets a thought in his head, and he dirties himself up. He messes up his hair, and he ties himself into a knot.
Uh-huh.
Upon doing that, he turns around and walks back into the bar. And as he approaches the counter again, the bartender goes, whoa. Wait a minute. Aren't you that piece of string that I just kicked out before? And the string looks at him and says, "No, I'm afraid not."
That's a good one. That's good. I like that. Okay. Okay. That's a good one. A guy spots a sign outside a house that reads, "Talking dog for sale." Intrigued, he walks in. "So what have you done with your life?" he asks the dog. "I've led a very full life," says the dog. "I lived in the Alps rescuing avalanche victims. Then I served my country in Iraq. And now I spend my days reading to the residents of a retirement home." The guy is flabbergasted. He asked the dog's owner, "Why on earth would you want to get rid of an incredible dog like that?" The owner says, "Because he's a liar. He didn't do any of that."
Okay. That's one too.
Well, that's all I got. Okay.
I liked it though. I liked it. Okay, this is a short one.
Okay.
Did you hear the rumor about butter?
What?
Well, I'm not going to spread it.
You have the nerve to talk about my joke. You have the nerve. Really? Okay, apparently we better not quit the day job. That's all I've got to say.
That's
Okay.
right.
All right. A man, shocked by how his buddy is dressed, asks him, "How long have you been wearing that bra?" The friend replies, "Ever since my wife found it in the glove compartment."
Oh no, that's funny.
That's bad. That's bad.
That is bad. That is bad. So this is another one that I have, and I tried to remember it as best I could. So I'm gonna give it a try.
Okay.
Another one that's a bit of a short story. So this man who was only a head, he was just a head. He had no body, no body. He was just a head. One day, it was a pretty day. It was a nice day. And he rolled himself to the park. And upon reaching the park, he sees this woman. And she's actually drinking from a water fountain. He rolls over to her feet and he looks up to her and he realizes how beautiful it is. He says, hello. And she acknowledges him back and she says, hi. And then he says, you're so beautiful. I want to marry you. And she looked at him and she goes, you're just a head. I can't marry you. You don't have a body. So rejected, the guy rolls himself home. And he's trying to figure out, he gets home and he's sad and he tries to figure out what he's eating and he's rolling on the counter, just round and around on the counter. And this bottle of poison falls out of his cabinet. He opens the bottle with his mouth and leans his head to the side and he just decides he's going to kill himself. So he drinks the poison. The man passes out, but he doesn't die. And when he comes to, he has a torso. He's happy because he says, I have to go find this woman because now I have to. So he slinks himself back to the park, and luckily for him, she's still there. And when he sees her, he goes, hi. And she says, hi, back to him. And then he says, will you marry me now? She goes, I'm sorry, sir, but you're just a torso. I can't marry someone without arms and legs. So again, the guy rejected and sad, and he rolls himself back home, and he goes straight for that bottle of poison with the thought of killing himself. So he turns the bottle up in his mouth and drinks more poison, and he passes out, but he doesn't die. Right? And so then...
I wish he would, but go on.
He wakes up and he has 2 arms and 1 leg, and he's ecstatic. He hops himself on 1 foot down to the park and he sees the woman again and he goes, hey, beautiful lady, won't you marry me now? And she goes, I cannot marry a man with 1 leg. And again, he's rejected. He's so rejected, and he sadly hops himself back home, and he says, this is it this time. I'm going to kill myself. So he drinks the poison again. This time, he dies. What is the moral of the story?
Well, the moral of the story is I'm not going to ask you for any more jokes, but go on.
The moral of the story is that you should quit while you're ahead.
Teresa, that was funny. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. The father buys a lie detector that makes a loud beep whenever somebody tells a lie. The son comes home in the afternoon. The father asks him, so, you were at school today, right? Son, yeah. The lie detector, beep. The son, okay, I was at the movies. The detector, beep. Son, all right, I went for a beer with my friends. Father, what? At your age? I wouldn't touch alcohol. Beep. Mother laughs. Ha! He really is your son. Beep, 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 beep.
That was funny. That is too funny. So this one is another short one.
Okay.
4 loose spuds were out partying.
Okay.
Having a grand old time. Now, how do you tell which of the spuds was the loosest?
I don't know how.
She's the one that's partying it up saying, Idaho, Idaho.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Okay. That's a good one. Okay. Reaching the end of a job interview, the human resources officer asks a young engineer fresh out of MIT, And what starting salary are you looking for? The engineer replies, well, in the region of $125,000 a year, depending on the benefits package. The interviewer asks, well, what would you say to a package of 5 weeks vacation, 14 paid holidays, full medical and dental, company matching retirement to 50% of your salary, and a company car leased every 2 years? Say maybe a red Corvette? The engineer sits straight up and says, wow, are you kidding? The interviewer replied, yeah, but you started it.
Now that was funny. I was about to tell you, what do I sign up for that job?
All right.
Okay. This one is a bit of a short story too.
Okay.
So, there's this restaurant critic, right? And he's not working. He goes to a restaurant that is his favorite and he just enjoys it. And he's just out for a good meal. And it's one that he went to often.
Okay.
As he was sitting there, one of his, the waiters and waitresses were whirling past him, and it was just, something was different about the restaurant. He just couldn't put his hand on it, so he stopped one of his favorite waiters and he goes, hey, I noticed that things are just running more efficiently, and what's all the buzz about? Plus, I noticed that you guys are all walking around with spoons in your pockets. And he goes, oh yeah, we had someone come in, corporate brought in this company and they did a survey, and it was found that 30% of our time is spent replacing silver that people have dropped. So it's more efficient for us to carry one in our pockets. So what we do is when someone drops one, we replace it immediately. And then when we go back to the kitchen, we replace that one with a clean one. And the guy went, oh, okay, that's nice. The waiter went on about his business, and he continued to watch and watch and watch, and he pulled him over again. He goes, I'm also noticing that there's strings hanging out of the flies. What's that about? And he goes, oh, yeah, simple explanation there too. When we go to the bathroom, we spend so much time washing our hands. So the company suggested that we tie a string to it, and we use the string to pull it out. Therefore, we don't have to wash our hands. The guy sat there and he goes, well, that doesn't quite make sense to me. So how do you get it back in? He goes, I don't know about the fellow waiters, but I use the spoon.
Okay.
I didn't do that one justice at all. But that's the gist of it.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let me see. Okay.
That was my last one, by the way.
I got 2 more. I can try.
Okay.
A doctor can't find a job, so he opens a clinic and he puts a sign outside, and the sign reads, "Get treatment for $20. If not cured, you get back $100." Okay? So a lawyer thinks this is a pretty good opportunity to earn $100, and so he goes to the clinic. The lawyer says, I've lost my sense of taste. The doctor, nurse, bring medicine from box number 22 and put 3 drops in the patient's mouth. The lawyer, this is kerosene. The doctor, congrats, your sense of taste is restored. Give me $20. The annoyed lawyer goes back. And after a few days, he thinks about it. He goes back to try to recover his money. He goes in, he says, I've lost my memory. Can't remember anything. The doctor says, nurse, bring medicine from box number 22 and put 3 drops in his mouth. The lawyer was annoyed. This is kerosene. You gave this to me the last time I was in here to restore my taste. The doctor said, congrats, you got your memory back. Give me $20. The human lawyer paid him. Then he came back a week later. He was determined to get back $100. The lawyer said, my eyesight has become very weak. I can't see at all. The doctor, well, I don't have any medicine for that. So take this $100. The lawyer looked at the money, but this is $20, not $100. The doctor said, congrats, your eyesight is restored. Give me $20. Okay. This is okay.
Do you have another one?
Yeah, this is my last one. A man walks out to the street and catches a taxi just as it's going by. As he gets into the taxi and the cabbie says, impeccable timing. You're just like Frank. And the passenger says, who? The cabbie says, Frank Feldman. He's a guy who did everything right all the time. Like my coming along just when you needed a cab. Things happen like that all the time to Frank Feldman, every single time. The passenger said, well, there are always a few clouds over everybody. The cabbie said, not Frank Feldman. He was a terrific athlete. He could have won the Grand Slam at tennis. He could golf with the pros. He sang like an opera baritone and danced like a Broadway star. And you should have heard him play the piano. He was an amazing guy. The passenger says, sounds like he really was something special. The cabbie, there's more. He had a memory like a computer. He remembered everybody's birthday. He knew all about wine, which foods to order, and which fork to eat with. He could fix anything. Not like me. I change a fuse and the whole street blacks out. But Frank Feldman, he could do everything right. The passenger says, wow, what a guy. The cabbie, he always knew the quickest way to go in traffic and avoid traffic jam. Not like me. I always seem to get stuck in them. But Frank, he never made a mistake. And he really knew how to treat a woman and make her feel good. He would never answer her back, even if she was in the wrong. And his clothing, oh my goodness, it was always immaculate, shoes highly polished. He was the perfect man, never made a mistake. No one could ever measure up to Frank Feldman. The passenger said, well, how did you meet him? Cabbie, I never actually met Frank. He died and I married his wife. Okay.
So he couldn't live up to Frank.
He could never live up to Frank. Okay. So those were our jokes for today. They might have been corny, but you know what? We hope you got just a bit of a chuckle out of it. And maybe, just maybe, your blood pressure went down just a point or two.
That's right. That's right. Those were fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And you know what? It doesn't change our reality, but we can escape it just for a minute. Because you know, here at Earrings Off,
when we know better, we do better.
Take good care. Have a good day.